The government is deliberately pushing out small landlords so that the big banks can move in. My name's Russell Leeds.
And I'm Anna Leeds.
And welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. So this might sound like a conspiracy theory, but genuinely, if you just look at the facts, this is what is happening right now.
Totally, yeah.
So first of all, how are they pushing small landlords or amateur landlords out? Well, there's lots of things that have happened over the last, I don't think this is like a just this government thing. I think this has been the previous government as well. Maybe over the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's felt like this is an agenda to keep continually attacking small landlords. So it started off with Section 24, which eliminated the mortgage interest relief. So, which is a joke. This rule is a joke. So basically, if you don't know what it is, let's say I've got a buy-to-let property and I'm a landlord and my rent that I'm receiving is £1,000 a month and I've got an interest-only mortgage and my mortgage is £800 a month. How much profit am I making? Assuming there are no other costs. Obviously there are, but
£200.
Sorry?
£200,
right? So you'd expect to pay tax on how much?
£200.
£200. But you don't. Because they say, no, the interest for your mortgage, you can't claim that back as a tax deductible expense. So you've got to pay tax on the full £1,000.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
It is.
It means you're paying more tax in many cases than you're making in profit. It's clearly an expense. Clearly an expense. It's an absolute joke. So that was the first big thing that came, and that was actually under the Conservative government. If you're enjoying the show, could you do me a real favour? Hit the subscribe button. Over 76% of viewers aren't subscribed to the channel. Honestly, it makes a massive difference to the channel. It's free for you, but it really helps us to keep doing this.
So next one, stamp duty. That's gone up.
Stamp duty, yeah. There's been obviously the surcharge. So, I mean, stamp duty is expensive for everyone. So if you're a first-time buyer,
I mean,
unless you're buying a cheap house.
It's been a bit up and down over the last few years.
Yeah.
They wanted people to buy after COVID because everyone had become a bit, just stay in your house, not do anything, not buy. So that was an encouragement for people to start buying again. But obviously, remember back in, was it April this year, it suddenly went.
Yeah, so they temporarily reduced it. I can't remember the dates, but yeah, it temporarily went down to try and encourage the market to get moving again. But
April, it suddenly shot back up.
Yeah, and obviously it's gone up. It's 5% now because it was a 3%, wasn't it? It's now going up to 5% surcharge. So if you're an investment property, so if you're buying investment properties or additional properties, 5% on top of normal. It's like they're hitting landlords left, right, and centre. It's like, you can't make any profit. Section 24 will make sure of that. Let's make it really expensive for you to buy houses as well. So that's another massive hit that's happening. Now listen. If you listen to the show on a regular basis, you'll know that there are ways around this. We've talked about Section 24. If you buy for a limited company, for example, you can avoid it. There's stamp duty hacks. If you're buying commercial properties or multiple mixed-use properties or even really uninhabited, there are ways around this. However, the amateur landlord, most investors don't know.
No.
They get hit with all this and they're just like, oh no.
Too much of a headache.
It's terrible. I don't understand. People that accidental landlords end up with 1 or 2 properties, or people who are just like, you know what? I've got a good job. I should invest my money into property. It's killing those people.
Yeah.
So unless you know what you're doing, unless you're educated, you're being smashed to pieces by all these changes.
Yeah.
Next.
Stress tests now make it harder to get buy-to-let finance.
Yeah. Now, part of this has been because of the interest rates have gone up.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive. But yeah, difficult stress tests, again, making it really difficult to get buy-to-let mortgages. So it's more expensive. You're not making any profit. And it's harder to get the mortgages. It's like every single step of the way, it's just like attack, smashing.
A big one, the EPC rules are getting stricter. So like now, some people are going to have to cash out on all their properties just to keep them running. Yeah. I mean, that's quite brutal.
Yeah, because all of a sudden now, I think it's going to be a C, isn't it? Then it went, then it's back. Now, all buy-to-let properties have got to be a C rated or above is it 2030 now?
Yeah.
I think it is. So
that's a big one if you don't know what you're doing. Obviously, like we were saying, we've done an episode on that, haven't we? Where if you have got someone on benefits living in there, you can actually have it done totally free.
The interesting thing is, you're right. All of these things, while they appear bad news, and for 95%, maybe more, maybe 99% of property investors or landlords, they're really bad news. For the 1% or the 5% who understand the rules, know how to use it, they're actually all good news.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff, they're loopholes.
Yeah. Of course there are, because the government wants property investors.
They just don't want amateur property investors.
Of course they do, because what are they going to say? Like, oh, we don't want houses to be rented out. Like, they do want, but they want the top guys to do it.
Yeah.
They don't want all the just odd person that just thought, I'll give it a go and I'll have 2 properties on this. They're the ones they want to get rid of.
It's almost like a systematic approach for, when we hear it all the time, the rich are getting rich, the poor are getting poorer. It's like, oh, we don't want normal people owning houses.
Yeah.
We don't want just, we
want the
Joe
rich
Bloggs
to benefit.
who's on 30 grand a year. We don't want him to be able to afford to save up and buy a house. No. Let's kick them out.
Yeah.
Let's open it up just for the elite. So the purpose or reason we're sharing this is we want to do the opposite.
Yeah.
I want to share with people how they can, normal people, John down the pub who earns 35 grand a year, how he can get on the property ladder and how he can put himself above that. So, yeah, but it feels like a systematic approach attacking landlords. And then the other one that they keep doing, which isn't actually changing the law, but it's just empty threats. But they'll say, oh, it looks like capital gains tax is going up. And landlords that have got properties are like, oh my goodness,
scare tactics.
Scare tactics.
Yeah.
Exactly that. They don't even bring the laws in. They just threaten to bring the laws in. And it's enough to scare people into thinking, well, let's sell now before capital gains tax goes up. We were looking at a study recently, and like 87% of landlords, I might have made that statistic up, but it's something high. I can't remember the exact number. But a large percentage of landlords think capital gains tax is going to go up next round.
Yeah.
So that if they think that,
then
it's going to make them want to sell up. They're kicking them out the market. Now,
well, the stats are crazy, because they're over 250,000 rental properties have been lost in the last 5 years because people have sold up. That's it itself.
How many? 250,000. 250,000 buy-to-let properties off the market in the last 5 years because landlords are selling up because they're not making a profit.
Yeah.
We haven't even mentioned regulations. All these tenant rights.
Yeah.
You can't evict a tenant under Section 21 anymore. No-fault evictions are gone. Now, you might think, oh, well, no-fault evictions are fair. But the truth is, landlords have to use no-fault eviction because the other option is going to court. And it's really slow, really laborious. You're relying on the courts. The court systems suck.
Yeah.
They suck.
And at the moment, after COVID, they're so backlogged. Like, how many months? You could be waiting years. It is just a joke.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is a joke, really.
So this has been systematically happening, right? Of course, when landlords drop out, and we've got 250,000 homes that have gone, well, that means there's less supply.
Yeah.
So if there's less supply, well, that means the demand is going to go up.
Yeah.
And when the demand goes up, it means the prices go up. So what's happening? And this is one side of the coin. All this bad stuff happening. What's happening over the other side? Well, on the other side, people like Lloyds Bank, very rich, Lloyds Bank, through Citra Living, they're targeting to buy 50,000 plus homes. They want to become the largest landlord in the UK. Other people are doing this as well. John Lewis, Legal & General, Blackstone, all these big companies, big banks, big corporations, they are moving in. So we're getting all these amateur landlords. John down the pub, he can't afford, it doesn't make sense for him anymore. He's not making any profit. He's cashing out. John Lewis,
cashing in.
See,
we put this out as a post, didn't we, on LinkedIn to get to gauge what the reaction was. And there was a comment from someone, and he put, good riddance to small landlords charging $1,000 and a bit in rent on a £500 a month mortgage is parasital. Focus on business that betters society. How blinded do you have to be? It's like he thinks, no offence to this person, that get rid of the small landlords and suddenly the rent's going to be £500 a month. Are you delusional? basically what you're saying is good riddance to the small landlords that are making a bit of money on the side, and welcome in the big companies to make more billions than they already do, and they can make all the profit instead. I mean, no offence, but how stupid do you have to be? Someone's going to make the money.
Yeah.
Wipe out the small landlord, yeah. And you're just encouraging, mate, the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer.
Yeah.
You absolute idiot.
And the thing is, he at the moment.
Do you like how I said no offence? Did that make it better?
No offence. So some offence. I'd like to tell you didn't name Kyle. Oops.
What an absolute, like, sometimes I do worry about society because no wonder we're in such a mess with such idiots.
Yeah. Do you know what, as well? I was actually in a similar topic. Obviously, when you hit landlords, for example, and obviously the person it actually hurts, it might hurt the landlords, but the person it really hurts is the tenants.
Yeah.
Because if the landlords are getting hit with higher taxes, etc., there's only one way to combat it. Number one is they sell out, like what's happened. What happens when they sell out? Rents rise, less demand. Or the other option is they put the rents up to cover their costs, right? So when the government attacks landlords, the person it actually hurts is tenants.
Yeah.
But the tenants are so stupid.
Yeah.
And most people, unfortunately, most people are stupid.
Yeah.
Is that they're calling out for the punishment, not realising it's going to affect them. It's the same with...
Yeah, well, the government words it well. All the government do, they play them like a fiddle. They word it so it sounds like they're hitting the landlords, and the tenants love it. Oh, yay! Yeah, we've been off the landlords. Yay, we win. And you're like, you just... let's see who actually loses out in this.
I can't get evicted.
Because it's not going to be the landlords.
No.
It's going to be you, mate.
Yeah. It will be both, but mainly them.
But mainly them. And do you know who is going to be benefiting? The big companies, the corporations, the government, and the rich.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Similar thing, right? Obviously, they're hitting landlords here. They're doing making the exact same mistake. They came out, we're not going to tax working people. Working people, we're going to look after. We're after the working man. All the working people are like, yay, vote in Labour, amazing. What do they then do? They start hitting business owners. They raise national insurance. They raise minimum wage, etc. Right? And they're hitting the employers. Yeah. The problem is the employers are like, we now can't afford to make a profit with the way things are. So what do? They start investing heavily into AI. Over half of companies are saying that they are no longer looking to hire new, they're looking to invest in AI instead.
Yeah.
We've lost 250,000 jobs since the budget. 250,000 jobs have gone.
Yeah.
So
it's messed
again,
up, really.
We're not hurting working people. That's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're attacking because when they attack the landlords have got to, or the business owners, they've got to adapt and change to protect themselves. Who does that hurt?
Yeah.
It hurts the working man.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because, like you say, everyone wanted to vote in Labour for the working man. That's funny because how many years now have we had the cost of living crisis? And who's that hurting? Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously it takes a toll on everyone, but let's face it, the people who are really struggling are the working people. That's who that's affected.
Sorry to interrupt myself, but if you've ever wondered how some investors can earn up to £1 million a year and pay zero tax, totally legally, I'm running a completely free 1-hour webinar where I'll be teaching exactly that. The link will be in the description. All right, back to me talking again. I know there were people in the comments who are going to be like, oh, bitter landlords. This doesn't affect me.
No, I'm not bitter.
This doesn't affect me. I know how to avoid Section 24.
Yeah.
I know how to avoid stamp duty. I know how to structure my business, my property, so I make profit. I'm not moaning about me. It annoys me on behalf of small amateur landlords who are just trying to do their best.
Who just want 2 or 3 properties on the side for that retirement plan in the future.
Yeah.
That's who.
They're the people it hits. People like your dad who owns a property. Yeah. He's going to get hit.
Who just wants to better themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just feel really sorry for those people that are getting hit, that are selling up, panicking, selling up.
And people say like, there's no money. If there was no money in it, why are Lloyds buying in?
Why did the MPs
Why are
do
John Lewis buying in? Why do when you look at the Sunday Times richest, why are the rich investing in property? Because there is money in it.
Yeah, obviously.
If you know what to do.
Yeah.
So I would massively encourage any landlords that are listening to this now, if you're not making any money, rather than selling, don't sell. Do not sell out.
No.
Because you're going to be just replaced by Lloyds Bank.
Yeah.
John Lewis. Don't sell. Just learn how to structure it better.
Yeah.
Learn how to structure your business. Because if all these big banks, you know how much money Lloyds Bank make? I don't even know the answer, but
No.
a lot.
Yeah.
If they think that there's money to be made in property,
There's money to be made in property.
do you know the other thing I think is going to happen? I think this is a short-term problem. I think the government are going to bring those changes in, like they're doing, more scaremongering. Landlords are leaving, unfortunately, because they're stupid and they fall for it, and it's a shame. But landlords are leaving and selling up, and then as soon as the vast majority of landlords have left the market, and as soon as Lloyds Bank and the likes come in, they'll just change the rules.
Yeah.
Again. They'll go, oh, right, now we're going to make it. Now we'll bring down stamp duty. Now we'll bring down this. Let's suit it for Lloyds Bank and the whatnot. And you guys, you've left now.
Yeah. And then a lot of
Morons.
people as well, when they've been burnt in property, they never return, I find.
Yeah.
So even though then the rules might change for the better, they just don't want to take that. They see it as risk taking, so they don't want to take that risk again. So like I've had family members that own some property sold up when times went a bit, but would never ever now.
Yeah, because they're like, oh no, they've been burnt.
Yeah.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah. So even though then the rules will laxen. Is that a word?
No, but I like it.
I'll reword that. Watch. I can't think.
Go on, no, reword it. Go on. Even though the rules are what?
I was going to say loosen up.
Well, that's kind of true. It's the opposite of tighten. Even though the
Lax
rules
off.
You know what? I'm so lost for words now. Let's go with lax off. I like laxin. Let's go with laxin. The dictionary according to Anna. New book.
Carl's like, who's stupid now?
What we should do, yeah. All those landlords are like, you calling me stupid? And you use words like laxin. Come on, guys. Do you know what though? You don't have to be smart to make a lot of money in property.
No, exactly.
You just have to understand property.
Yeah. That was my point.
That was her point.
I can't even think what I was going to say. So let's move on.
Well, here's another comment that came through. Too many bitter renters. They're just oblivious that if landlords reduce, supply will be brought up by the banks and the funds, and they're the ones who want to maximise profits.
There you go.
Landlords, human relationship, renter, that will be gone. It will literally just be a big bank corporation. You have no choice. You've seen it a little bit. If you watch like where big corporations own like blocks, they're just like, oh, we're going to sell the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas landlords normally, and I do think a lot of landlords are bad. I'm not going to lie. When we've been tenants,
Yeah.
there are a lot of landlords are dickheads.
But then that goes with the world, doesn't it? There's a lot of dickheads in the world. Like,
Man, I feel very negative on this podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone's stupid. Everyone's a dickhead. We could just laxen up.
I'm stupid because I can't say words. Let's all stand up and just go and...
I totally agree though with what it's not just one YouTube comment. RSJB1LF. Great YouTube name. I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, it's ironic that renters are cheering landlords to exit and they just don't realise.
No.
The institutional landlords, aka John Lewis, Lloyds, they're not going to be friendlier or cheaper. They'll just be better at PR.
Yeah. And the less houses there are to rent, the more you're going to pay.
Yeah. I think we need
That's
more
very
professional
simple.
landlords, not fewer. Otherwise, everyone's going to be just renting from a faceless corporation. Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah. And it's a shame because I feel for renters. I mean, we rented for years and I loved it. But the renters that generally want to buy and just can't afford to get on the property ladder, and they're the bitter renters, really. Because we weren't bitter renters. We loved renting.
Yeah.
Because we deliberately rented. But I think the people that are generally trying to get on the property ladder and the government have made it too hard,
Yeah.
even though they want to blame the landlords. Like, I do feel for them, and I think they're the ones normally that turn into the bitter renters, because they see it as, I'm spending £1,000 a month, throwing all my money away. I could be paying for a house. It's just going to the landlord.
Well, then buy then.
Yeah.
Buy. April Mortgages are doing 100% mortgages now.
Yeah.
Don't rent. We rented because it actually suited us.
Yeah.
I'm a very happy renter.
Yeah. And I'm almost, even though we own this house and it's great, there's still an appeal to me to rent instead.
Yeah.
Sell
I like the flexibility of it.
do.
The only reason I didn't like it is because the type of houses we were renting, they weren't rental properties.
No.
So what happened was the landlord, they were someone's personal home who was moving abroad or whatever. They're not designed for rental properties. But when we were renting, let's say 10 years ago, and we were renting, nice houses, but normal nice houses, rental houses, I really enjoyed renting.
Yeah.
I enjoyed moving around. I enjoyed trying what I liked. Buying is a bit of a faff. So,
and then you're a bit stuck. Like, I do feel personally, but this is a very, not many people feel like this, because people always talk about their dream home that they want to live in for years. But I actually find it a bit like claustrophobic. I'm like, I'm trapped. I've bought it. Like, I'm here now. Like, I'll look at houses on Rightmove, and you'll go, no, Anna. Like, we bought this is our home. And I'm like, oh, but look at this home. And I'm so used to moving all the time and trying something else. I actually
enjoy it.
I enjoy it, and I actually miss renting.
So if you're a landlord right now, you own a few properties, you're thinking of selling up. Obviously, we've massively encouraged you not to do that. What should you do? Well, the first thing I would do is I'd get educated.
Yeah. I think that's all you've got to do.
Learn about other rental strategies. ASTs a struggle right now. Look at strategies like service accommodation.
Yeah.
Look at things like how to tax planning. All these things that you need to know. How you can pay less stamp duty. Look at EPC upgrade. Look at the eco scheme.
Yeah.
Educate yourself and learn how the rich, how Lloyd's back, how are they doing it?
Yeah.
How's Russell Leeds doing it? How's Samuel Leeds doing it? Watch those people.
Right. What would be your advice? What is the best strategy for someone, tell me who's got money to invest, and for someone trying to get into property with limited money, what strategy would you go for?
Here's the thing. Right now, house prices, in my opinion, and not just my opinion, look at oh my gosh, that's karma. That is.
Yeah, this is karma for calling people stupid. This is.
It's like God's like, you call my people. I made stupid. I may take away your ability to speak on the podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's just over.
Is what it is. If you look at economists, people like Gary Economics, he thinks that property prices are going to double in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. So property prices, everyone's predicting they're going to be a big boom. We've just been sitting on a. We haven't seen a massive downturn because interest rates, everything has been inflation's been so high, but they've pretty much stayed the same, stroke gone down a little tiny bit over the last few years. So I think it's going to be a big boom. So I'd be looking to buy like now, and I would not be looking to sell.
Yeah.
Now is a terrible time to sell. I'd be looking to buy. My favourite strategy is buy, refurbish, refinance. So you want to buy a property that's run down, that's all the other houses on the street are worth more. It's run down. No one wants to buy it. It's in a bad state. Buy that property.
Yep.
Force the value up by renovating the property, and then let capital appreciation take care of the rest. In many cases, you can buy properties like that. You put your money into the deal. By the time you force the value up, you get a new mortgage. You pull out all the money you invested. It's almost like getting a free house.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd be doing like right now. Places like Liverpool, Manchester, they're the best areas.
Yeah.
They're cheap. And they're expected to have really good capital appreciation in those areas. Compared to somewhere like London, it's not expected to go up very much at all. And in certain areas, and this is why you need to pick your area right, Cornwall, for example, and Devon, because of all the second home taxes and everything that's coming in, they're actually predicted to decrease slightly.
Yeah.
So I'd be looking to buy in up-and-coming areas. Birmingham's a good area, Liverpool, Manchester, all these sort of areas. Fantastic. Buy there, renovate, pull your money out, do it again. Regarding renting them out, I'd be looking to rent them out. My favourite strategy is service accommodation.
Yeah.
But HMOs work really well. Social housing works really well. If you get the right property, even a buy-to-let can work really well in those areas. I mean, we've still got buy-to-lets that make us not amazing money.
Yeah, they're at least profitable, but they're still profitable.
But they're still profitable, and they're still sitting there making money. And the cool thing is, the property's going up, so we're getting paid in rent, we're getting paid in capital appreciation, and we're also getting paid in reduced debt, because we've got our mortgages that are sitting there, interest-only mortgages, staying the same. But it's reducing because inflation is shrinking the debt on the mortgages. So every which way, you kind of can't go wrong. Even if you buy a property that's not profitable, time will make it profitable.
Yeah. So if you've got
if you mess up, just buy now. Get in now before the massive rise. Let your debt shrink. Let your assets rise up. Do it. But if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right and do what I just
What
described.
about people who haven't got much money to invest? So do you think...
Well, this was me when I got started.
Yeah.
This is exactly me. So what I did was I got in the game because I realised that property, I was in entertainment, which was fine. It was a decent business. We were making good money. But on the side, I could see property. I was like, I need to get into property. So what I did was I got in the game. I looked at packaging and selling deals. We ran a HMO management company where we learned all about HMOs and how they work. And we had over 100 units that we were managing across the Midlands. So I learned the game really, really well. I got paid for it well as well. Because, when you're managing units, like we were, you get a 12% turn on it, right? It's 12%, but that's off the not the profit, that's off the gross. So if you're getting 12%, you're making not far off as much as the landlord's making. You have a load of those lined up, suddenly you're making really good money. So I would just get in the game. I'd learn about property, manage people's properties, find deals for people. That's very profitable. We've got students that are making 30, 40, 50,000 pounds a month selling deals.
That is great.
It won't take long before you can start having the money saved up to invest. That. So that's what I would do right now. Okay, enough doom and gloom. It's now time for this.
So in the news this week, there's a press release, rough sleeping to be decriminalised after 200 years.
Yeah, so that's quite a long time to have a law in place, 200 years. I think that it's an interesting topic. I wasn't sure what I thought of this when I first saw it, because my first thought was, if I was homeless, I'd want to be able to sleep. Where else do you sleep? You want to sleep somewhere, right? So you kind of...
What are they suggesting? Like, I feel like if there's no backup, like what you're supposed to do, just start knocking on people's doors.
However, people do rough sleep anyway, don't they? So it's not, like, say it's illegal at the moment, but it does kind of happen. So I suppose all it's doing is taking the power away from the police to move people on if they are being a nuisance. I actually think it's better having the rule that you can't do it. Otherwise, now, if we wanted to, we could just grab a tent, all pitch up in Beaconsfield Town Centre and sleep. What would stop us from being able to do that now?
But I don't think, though, that they would allow...
Well, how could they say, oh yeah, we'll let him sleep there because he's not got a home. But have you got a home to go to? Yeah, okay, you can't sleep there then. But rough sleeping is now legal. My worry is that suddenly we're going to see loads more rough sleepers. Do you know what I actually think?
Yeah, I don't... Oh, yeah. What about, like, teenagers that just fancy a jolly up and go, oh, should we pitch up some tents for a laugh?
Yeah, you can. What I think the real issue is, why have we got homeless people in 2025?
Yeah, that's the big one. That's what they need to be sorting. Not about if it's legal or not to sleep on the streets. No one should be sleeping on the streets.
Yeah, what they should be doing is putting their time and effort into homing these people or supporting charities that work with these people, rather than
trying to say, is it legal or not legal?
Let's make it legal. It's kind of like supporting the problem in a way. I don't like the rule.
No one is there thinking, do you know what I really want to do with my life? I want to become a homeless person and just sleep on the streets. That's no one's intention ever, is it? So these people never had any intention to be where they are. They just need help, don't they?
Yeah.
No one wants, you might get the kids that for a laugh one night sleep out on the streets, but they don't want to sleep out on the streets.
I don't like seeing people sleeping on the streets.
No, that shouldn't be a thing.
It's sad, but it does bring the area down. It's like, when you go to London, We noticed actually, didn't we? We've just been to Dubrovnik, and you mentioned to me there's no beggars, there's no. I don't know what their rules are there. Be interesting to know.
We should look that up because is that they just don't have homelessness?
Or is it they hide it?
Or they hide it, yeah. Is there like suddenly a big area where it's like, yeah, but we put them all there, look. But I couldn't believe there was not one person begging. There was no homeless. But that's the first time, I think, in all our travels of Europe so far, where I've seen that in a town. We're just nothing.
But we home immigrants, don't we? Immigrants come over,
yeah,
and we put them in emergency accommodation.
Yeah.
So why are we homing immigrants in emergency accommodation and then saying, oh, but what we'll do, we'll home immigrants in emergency accommodation, but people that live here, that haven't got a home, you're allowed to sleep on the street now. It just seems a bit wrong. Listen, I'm not majorly informed on this topic, so I haven't got a massive opinion on it. I'd love to know what you guys think. If you could let us know in the comments, is it a good rule? Is it a bad? To me, it seems like a bad rule. It's not addressing the root of the problem.
No.
It's just like, oh, rather than address the problem, we'll just make it legal.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, it seems backwards to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a law that's been around for 200 years. I would much rather the government come out and say, we're addressing the problem. We want to... But this new government are rubbish.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But there's got to be a way. Because then I hear because I really do, especially our daughter, they always say you try and help what you see, what you're called to see. And Sienna especially, she's so drawn to homeless people, isn't she? She always, give them money, Mom.
Yeah.
Give them money. Why are they on the street? They shouldn't be on the street. Wherever we go, she wants to go over and talk to them, wants to sit and I feel like when she's older, she'll have a real passion for trying to house the homeless.
Yeah.
But then when I talk to other people, I say, there shouldn't be homeless. Oh, these people, they don't want to be in homes. There is stuff they could go to, but they don't want to. I don't know if I believe that, though, because they'll say, they've got mental health, so they don't want to be in their shelters. Yeah, but there's other places then, isn't there? We have got mental health institutes, or hospitals.
But then it's good that it's illegal for them. Because if that's true,
yeah,
if it's true that they could go somewhere, they don't want to, they want to sleep on the street, they shouldn't be allowed to.
No, because that's not normal behaviour, is it?
No.
No one in sound mind wants to sleep like they do on the streets. So therefore, they should be in other facilities then, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Not just, oh, look, we've got a flat here for you.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing that they could do a mixture of charity work plus apprenticeship schemes.
Yeah.
We're short of manual workers
in
this country. So it might be, for example, that they could team up with businesses and say, look, a charity and a business team up, they go halves on it. So the business gets cheap labour.
Yeah.
So they're using homeless people or whatever. The charity top it up. We help support these people. Because I don't know. But I don't think this is the solution.
No, this is just to try and make the stats look better. Because suddenly it's like, oh, we don't have a homelessness problem. Are you allowed to?
Well, they'll still be homeless.
But then on the stats it would be like, wow, you're allowed to. We don't know the difference between people who haven't got homes and people who are just doing it for a laugh.
Maybe. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this week's Anna Leeds.
I'm Anna Leeds.
We'll see you next time.